We're going through some facial changes. I'm gonna try to grow out a beard, and if it doesn't work well, cutting it all off. All right, now I would totally go in with my intro, but I really feel like the amount of seriousness, quote unquote, I need to take in this video is pretty out there. Now, a lot of people have been saying a lot of different things about this topic, and I feel like I just want to give my personal opinion because it's video game and nerd related. Today, we're going to be talking about the First Descendant, but not the First Descendant in like, oh, how the gameplay is. It's not a review for it. It's more of why people are so genuinely upset with the First Descendant and just how it exists in the first place. And a big groups of people are complaining that it is a carbon copy of, or damn near just literally copy paste Destiny and Warframe together. Now, I was not gonna say anything about it because I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It's a video game, but it honestly, like, I feel like this is what happens with a lot of games. Somebody disagrees and then somebody makes a horrible point on it and then everyone else kind of just bandwagons off of it. Famous streamers give a really shitty opinion over something that they really, not that they don't understand, but they just give a really trashy opinion over something that they have no idea how much they control over, how much control they have over the conversation. I want to talk about the comparison between the two. Destiny 2 and the First Descendant and Warframe are in the same category. They are looter shooters. That's plain and simple. And Warframe and Destiny 2 in particular, they kind of are the the head honchos of this industry. I mean, Warframe's been around, and I could be wrong, for like 10 years. It's one of the most successful ongoing video game that's free to play. And I think that's a good title for them to have. And Destiny 2 has a huge franchise behind it with Destiny 1 and also being like the first game Bungie made after Halo. So they are two titans of this industry. So yes, a game is going to copy a couple things. Now I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that they copy and the issues with just everything in general. I have a lot of hours in all of these games. I have 500 in Destiny 2, I have 1,000 in Warframe, and almost 200 in the First Descendant. So I'm not saying that I'm the most qualified, but I feel like I'm decently qualified to give an opinion on all of these different games. I would just say, like, in my opinion on everything that's going on about this stupid drama, personally, because I do think it's drama. I honestly, people won't say it's drama, but there isn't really fact behind a lot of the things that they say, and no matter how angry you get, it's all just our own personal opinion. If there was real copyright infringement, then the First Descendant would be under another lawsuit. Nexon would be under a huge lawsuit with Bungie and the Warframe community. I'm sorry, I can't. TennoCon or whoever. I'm sorry. I don't know who makes Warframe. I apologize. Off the top of my head. But I want to talk about, for starters, people are basically saying that the First Descendant is a huge monetized game. It's not. It really isn't. There's a couple monetization problems that you run into when it comes to dying, and if you want a shortcut to being better in the game. But besides the dyes, which I'm pretty sure you can craft, I'm finding a way to do that. But besides the crafting, I don't really see there to be any monetization in the First Descendant at all. It seems like the game is just a free-to-play Warframe Destiny in its own mix. It does what it's supposed to do pretty well. There's a lot of things to grind, there's bosses to fight, missions to repeat, relics to open. Like, yes, it copied Warframe's crafting system and loot system, and it copies Destiny's like mission style, and I guess some pictures kind of look similar to other pictures, which I guess you could, maybe be like, no, change that, which they totally can. But I wanted to make the point to say, like, Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch, Overwatch copy Team Fortress 2 damn near like pixel for pixel for the most part. You could literally look at the both of them and be like, God damn, dude, like, hey, copy my homework but make it look like it's yours. And that's what video games have been recently, and just in general. We take the positives of one game and then we try to import it into our own, and then after a while it branches off and does its own thing. But in the beginning it's always rocky. I don't understand why the First Descendant's any different. It is not arguable that Nexon is a very trashy company. They are not good people. They have a lawsuit out there for scamming people for loot drops, because you would spend all your money on trying to get this drop in a crate, and the chance to get that item was 0.0001% chance. That's not good. That's not good. Now, what I want to say about all of this is I'm gonna talk a little trash on Destiny. I don't think Destiny, Warframe, and the First Ascendant can all be compared together, but it comes with a little bit of trash. Out of all three of those games that I just named, Destiny 2 is the only one that costs money, and I think that in its own right, that puts it in a different league. And Warframe has been around for a long time, and I think that also puts it into a different league. So you can't really compare the three of them just word for word, page for page. The First Ascendant is starting off, and if it's able to compete in any way against these titans, then that is an accomplishment that people don't give it. Instead, they're just trashing on it because they're like, well, you know, see, they're copying so much about Destiny, like, and then they're copying so much on Warframe. Yeah, games do that. It's gonna happen. Battle Royales have done that since video games have done that since the dawn of time. Mario and Sonic, I mean, eventually they started just making the same games. I mean, like, Omni-Man, Homelander, Superman. Like, literally, ever since shit has existed, people have copied other people's work. Spider-Man and Deadpool, like, literally the eyes are the fucking same. Like, what? When it comes to creativity, sometimes we fall a little short, but some things inspire us. And, not gonna lie, I don't know why anyone's backing Destiny 2, because Destiny 2 is a shit heap. For the longest time, everyone has hated Destiny 2 and Bungie because they took away content you paid for. I have probably spent $500 at minimum on Destiny, and probably that's probably more than that, but that's all I can count. I'm not including pre-orders or anything like that. And that's not to mention the guns you get when you pre-order are completely obsolete now. Try using a cold heart in a raid. It probably does not work that well. There's a lot of other exotics to get. But I'm not even trying to talk about that. I'm talking about the fact that you've removed $200 to $300 worth of content in the game. You cannot do the beginning again. You can't, no matter what you do. No matter how you try, you cannot do the beginning again. Any seasonal content, that shit disappears, and you have to spend money on a dungeon key, which requires you to get like a $50 annual pass, or to spend $20 on each dungeon. I think now there's 3 dungeons in the game. There might be more. I haven't played in a minute. I'm picking it back up, and I'm, walking through it again. So I apologize if any of the information I've given about Destiny is wrong. But I can absolutely say that, like, for the First Ascendant being a free game that hasn't forced any monetization down my throat, and being able to compete with Destiny, I'm okay. Yes, I think that's fair. I think Destiny has a horrible monetization problem. I think they've walked around with a monetization problem this entire fucking time. And when people are just sitting there shitting on a game for being free to play, coming out and not requiring any of my money, having a long story, interesting graphics, like great gameplay, switch the great graphics and interesting gameplay, like switch those two around, but it has like I don't know, I don't think it deserves nearly as much hate as it gets, because there's no way you guys think it's fair to compare Destiny 2, Warframe, the first Ascendant. That's just why. Like, I don't understand why you want this game to fail. Everyone always talks about how they want new games. We want new content, we want new things to arise and pass other games or other titans of industries. But then a new game comes out, but you don't like it. My hot take of this entire video is I don't really think that there's a genuine reason to dislike the First Ascendant besides the sexual appeal in the game. Like, I like the First Ascendant, but G. Willikers Batman, good golly gumdrops, lot of ass. Like, lot of ass. I've made this my personal opinion. I don't really like playing a game with over-sexualized characters. That's me. I'm not saying that you have to think that way, but I don't like that. I don't like having to think about playing with one hand. I don't really like seeing ass and titties when I'm trying to fight the alien race that's taken over the galaxy. It doesn't really make me feel too strong. But anyway, I guess my real point here, and if I had to close off on something, it's just I think we need to stop with hate when it comes to a new game coming out until there's a reason to hate it. Hate the monetization over the game. Hate the fact that you have to pay for dyes. It's not as customizable as Warframe, and that you have to grind a lot. Hate the fact that the first Descendant is made by Nexon. But don't hate the fact that it's like, it's a looter shooter. I don't think that's a reason to hate it, because it can compete with Destiny, it can compete with Warframe. I don't spend all that money in Warframe. I didn't spend all that money in the first Descendant, but I spent a lot of money on Destiny 2 and I can't use that content again. And that is an actual problem that people are ignoring just because they're like, well, see, it's bad, but, you know, Destiny, you know, it's fine. You got this new DLC, fix all my mistakes with it. But first Descendant is trash. Boo, stinky boo, it's a trash game. But it's not, though. It's got a lot of content, a lot of great things to enjoy with it. So that's just my take on it. I don't know. Enjoy the game, don't hate on it. There's reasons to dislike a game that are valid, and there's reasons to dislike a game that are just because you want to dislike the game. So I don't know. I hope that was just a nice little conversation we could have. Have a blessed rest of your night, y'all. Enjoy any game that you play. Just stop hating on others for enjoying it. Yeah. Take care, y'all.